let me just share my screen. Yay. So can you guys see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let me just change the place where I will save the project. Okay. So solution, let's name this one solution on lab number 7. Definitely number 7 only. So I guess in lab number 8, you guys don't have a problem on that. So in here, if you guys are going to take a look on your lab number 7, COMPFP1. Okay, so in here, as you guys can see, initially we can choose 5 pizzas with different sizes, of course. Okay, you can do this one. So for you to be able to do this one, okay, so let me just recreate that one. So again, you're going to use a group box for that one, and then change the back color. See any back color that you want. Okay, so it naman sa mata ng line. Yellow. Okay, this one has a more smoother color. All right, so in here we need radio buttons, of course. You have a question, Miss Gazel? All right, so I will mute you for now, Miss Gazel. Ba't ayaw ma-mute? Mm, ayaw ma-mute anyway. All right, so if you're not going to ask anything, or if you're not going to say something, please uh, mute your mic as possible para hindi tayo ma-disrupt. All right, so let's just see that we have these 4 radio buttons initially for now. So if I will start this one, I can only choose one. Okay, so the solution for this one is you have to put a panel, okay, inside of this group box or inside of this panel. So basically there is a panel inside the panel. So to do that one, so let's create a panel, put a panel in here, and in here it doesn't have a name, so let's erase that radio button, and then let me copy and then paste it right here, and then paste it right here again, and put it right here. Oops. Okay, and at the same time let me change the color of this one, the back color. I see. Okay, so it now has the same back color. So this is the solution that you can do for you to be able to choose, let's say, 5 individual pizzas with different sizes. So if we're going to start this one, so you can now choose any size of pizza on these 3 ready buttons. At the same time, you can choose another ready buttons on the outer. Okay, so since you guys have 5 pizzas, I guess 5 or 6, 1, 2, 3, yeah, 5. So you need 5 of these also. So just copy that entire panel and then paste it right here, and paste it again right here. So I'll delete this one now. Paste it right here and then paste it right here. Okay. So with that, uh, you can now choose 5 individual pizzas. All right, so that's the solution. So as you guys can see, while it's running, the borderline of that panel is gone. So that is the reason why you cannot see that there is actually a panel behind it. Okay, so yeah, there you go. That's the solution for your lab number 7. And then the rest are the same. Okay, the rest are the same except this one. The your name should be placed in here. So program by and then your name. So you can change the picture. So as long as it's still a pizza, I guess it's okay. Well, you can copy this one if you want using a snipping tool, but you can choose another background picture. Okay, so another question, sir. How are we going to save the lab number 7 and 8 as interface only po? No, 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 no. I don't want the interface only or the working program, just like what we have in here right now. I need the entire folder, okay? Like, for example, right now, I just created a project, namely solution lab number 7. So in my case, we can find that one on my local DC. So that depends on where you are saving your project. Okay. So let's create a new project. So in here, okay, next. So in here, you will see the location of where your project is being saved. So in my case, it's under local DC, folder users, Ryzen 5 source, and then repos. So that is where I can find all of my projects in Visual Studio. So local DC, users, Ryzen 5, and then sources, and then repos. Okay, so all of my existing projects will be saved right here. So the one that we have right now, right here, is the solution none lab number 7. So this one should be solution, that's correct, solution on lab number 7. So this is what I need, okay? So do not just copy the exe file. So it should be the entire folder. Okay, so it has this solution right here inside of it. We have the form design, the for the form design, and then the coding section, and then the bean, my project, obj. So all of those are important. Okay, so you cannot, if you will remove or if you will delete one of those, your entire solution right here will not work anymore. Okay, so this is what I would like you guys. Oops. This is what I would like you guys to add to archive and then compress it as a RAR file or a zip file. Okay, something like that. Okay, so I'll be the one who's going to extract it, and then I'll be the one who's going to check what are the things that you did on your program. Okay, yes, same in everything. Okay, in all of your laboratories, lab 7, 9, and 10, your quizzes, third, fourth, fifth, and then your sixth quiz, all of those will be the entire folder. Okay. So as you guys can see, I now have also, not yet. So I'm now officially publishing the week number 6. So you guys can see my sample, okay, pizza ordering right here. Okay, so you can also download this RAR file that right here. So this is a mini version of pizza ordering. So this is where you can see the sample code, okay, of this pizza ordering.exe. So this is a working program, okay, just a mini pizza ordering. So a limitation of 3 uh, flavors only, and then yeah, you can base your work in here. Okay. All right. So what else? So do you guys have any other questions so far? So again, if none, just give me a thumbs up. Oops, my PC is lagging. Okay, just give me a thumbs up if you don't have a question, and if you have a question, so just raise your hand. All right. So I guess most of you doesn't have a question. So again, if you have a question, just raise your hand, or just speak right away. So there is no problem to me. All right. So without a further delay, let's now start with the module 8. Okay, so as you guys can see, this is module 2 because this is the second module of finals. But I just simply follow the numberings from midterms up to the finals so that, to avoid confusion. So this is already the module 8 in week number 5. Okay, so the one that we're going to talk about in module 8 is the visual basic branching. Mostly we're going to talk about if-else statement and switch case statements, and then introduction about how to use message box and then input box. Okay. All right. So visual basic branching. So what is visual basic branching? So branching statements are used to cause certain actions within a program if a certain condition is met. Okay. So to make it simple, in programming, if this condition were met, and then there will be a follow-up statement that will be executed. So in real life, if your parent told you that the condition is you must finish your studies first before you can have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. So that is a condition, and then the reward. Is it a reward? Well, yeah, the statement that will be executed. Okay. So what will happen if you didn't follow the condition? Well, it will lead us to the false statement. So we have true statement and then the false statement. So let's say the true statement is a reward, and then the false statement is most likely the opposite of the reward. Of course, it will maybe a punishment, okay, or or anything bad, okay, that will happen to you, okay, for not following the orders of your parents. Okay. So to give you a idea, okay, what is this statement that I'm talking about? So we have this if condition, okay. So you can place any condition that you can place right here that you can think of, and then it will lead to two possible result only. The first one is yes or true. The second one is no or false. So if it's true, then this statement will be executed. If it's false, then of course nothing will happen since we don't have an statement right here. So that's the only thing that I would like you guys to learn for now. So one condition, one statement. If it's false, nothing will happen. Okay? And then here's the syntax for this kind of statement right here. We have one condition, one statement. If this is false, nothing will happen. Okay, this will only if this is true, then this will only be executed once this one is true. If this is false, then nothing will happen. Okay, anyway, so to give you guys an idea, we have three examples for that one. So you don't need to analyze what is uh, the expression that is being put in here. So if balance is less than 0, then message box less than 0. So to make it simple, if this condition is true, then this statement will be executed. Okay, I'm saying executed because that is the way how uh, our computer will deal with this condition, right? I mean this statement right here. Okay, so if our computer finds out that this expression right here is true, then he will execute the corresponding statement or code. Okay, so the same with this one. If this is true, a minus b is greater than 10, then this expression right here will be executed. Okay, the same with this one. If text box 1 the text is equal to invalid, then text box 1 that focus. Okay, as simple as that. So true condition, true statement. True condition, true statement. True condition, true statement. So if we have, let's say, false condition, if this was not true, then nothing will happen since we haven't put any statement if it's false. All right. Well, anyway, without a further delay, let's move on with a real example. Okay, so here's the sample problem number one. So write a VB program that allows the user to input an integer. If the value is greater than or equal to 0, display the message positive using a message box. So take note, it will only accept integer. Okay. Well, you can still put here a decimal, let's say 25.2, but it will be converted as a whole number. Okay, 25.2 will still 25. If it's 25.5, then that it will become 26. Okay. Anyway, you don't need to worry about this one for now. our goal is to show the word positive. Okay, so to do this one, let me just delete everything. So all we need is three components. So one label, a text box, and then a button. Okay, so let's do this one. So a label, text box, and then a button. Okay, so initially they are small, so let me make them bigger for you guys. So go to font and then change the size into 30. And voila, everything now is big. Okay, and let's change the text of label 1 into input number. So if you guys have a question, so feel free to ask me anytime. And for the label, I guess that's already fine. And then for the button, I'll just put here verify. So the one that we have used in here is a test, but in my case, oops, let me close this one. In my case, I'll just say verify. Okay, there you go. And then the one that we're going to program is this button. Okay, so just double click and then it will lead you to the coding area. So first come first serve. No, no, no. First thing that you guys need to do is you have to declare a variable. Okay. So why am I doing that one? To make things easier. Okay. We don't want to call long names in coding. As much as possible, we want to call a shorter variable. With that, it would be a lot easier. So in my case, I'll just declare one variable, dimx, as so I'll declare that this one will only accept integers since that is the one that is being mentioned in here. Input as an integer. Okay, and then the next one that we want to do is we have to pass the value, okay, of your text box one text. Now, how will you know the component name? So just go right here, left click this component, and then check on the properties on what is the name of that component. So in here, we have text box one. Okay, so just put here text box one text. So what we are doing here is, instead of calling the entire name of text box one, we're just going to call variable x, because whatever is the value of text box one is now being passed on to variable x. Okay, so in that case, we can now use if condition. So if x, so here's now where the comparison will be coming. So if x is greater than or equal to 0, then message box, close and open parenthesis, double apostrophe, and then the one that we're going to display is positive. Okay, so if this condition is true, x is greater than or equal to 0, then it will display positive. Okay, so where is the value of x will be coming from? It will be coming from text box one text. Okay, it will be coming from the user who's going to put a value in there. Okay, so let's try if this one is working. So just click run or hit F5. So in here, if I'll put 5 and then click verify, it will give us a result positive because the condition is true. However, if this is false, then it will not display anything because we haven't done anything for the false condition. Okay, so if you want your program to accept this number right here, let's say negative, then you can create again another condition. So just copy the entire condition and then paste it and then just reverse this one. So instead of greater than and equal, so you can put here less than 0. Then message box now will become negative. Okay, so let's try to run this one again. So 5 is positive even though it's, let's say, 500, I mean 5 million or 55 million, it will still give us a result of positive. If it's negative, negative 5.55, then that's the time that it will give us now a negative. Okay, So basically, the Visual Basic will find a true condition, and then once it find and it was able to find a true condition, then it will execute the corresponding statement beside it. Okay, like for example this one. All right. So 0 is positive. Negative 0 is still under positive. Okay, there's no such thing as negative 0. Anyway, so did you guys get the idea so far on how to use if condition? So just give me a thumbs up if you were able to get it. Okay, very good. All right, so at least half of you were able to get this one. Okay, so this is just one way to deal with many condition and then many statements. But you can also do this one. Okay, so in here, if x is greater than 0, then message box positive. So this is only for true statement and true condition. What about if you wanted to display uh, a false condition? So just put here else and then hit enter and then message box, then negative. Okay, so if this is true, then it will execute this one. But if it wasn't able to find that this one is true, let's say it's now false, then it will now fall on this else statement right here. So basically it will give us the same result, just a different syntax. So 5 is positive, then negative 5 is negative. Okay, so yeah, this is just another way. Okay, so next one. Okay, let's now move on to sample problem number 2. So write a program that inputs two integer numbers. Thereafter, the program should determine if these two integer numbers are equivalent. So if they are equivalent, use a message box to display the word equivalent. So as you guys can see, we have two inputs. Okay, the first number and then the second number, and then we have to compare those two numbers. If they are equal, then we have to display equivalent. If they are not equal, then we will not do anything. Okay, since it wasn't mentioned here that we should display not equivalent. Anyway, let's recreate that one. So I will reuse our existing components. So copy and then paste, copy this one and then paste it right here. So in here, even though we have the same text box, I mean the same labels, the same text box, all of those have different namings or address. So if you guys are going to take a look at this one, label 1 and the second one is label 2. So both of them are labels, but those two have different names or address. The same with your text boxes. So this is text box 1, and then the second one is text box 2. Okay. So in here, we have to change this one into input another number. Right. There you go. Oops. Don't need that one. Put another number. The double clicking mouse go. Anyway, so the one that we need to program is still this button right here. Okay, so let's change this one into compare instead of verify. So double click and then it will lead us again to this coding section. Okay, so instead of declaring two variables, so we have to declare now, instead of declaring one variable, we now have to declare two variables. Okay, because we now have two inputs. So x and y, will use x and y. And then in here, we can also copy and paste this one. So we are passing the value of text box 1 to variable x. And then here, we're going to pass the value of text box 2 into variable y. Okay. And then this is now where the condition will be coming from. So it says that we have to compare those two text boxes or variables. So if x is equal to y, then message box, close and open parenthesis, double quotation, will display equivalent. But in my case, I'll change that one into they are equal. Okay, just to have some changes in the code. All right, so let's test this one if this one will work. So 5 and then 5, if you're going to compare it, so of course they are equal. However, if change this one into 4, of course we will get nothing, okay, because this one now is false, and then under false statement we didn't put anything. So again, if we need to put a false statement, we can uh, put this one down here and then put else, okay, and then copy this one, and then instead of they are equal, put here they are not equal. So again, if this is true, then this will be executed. However, if this is false, then this will be executed. Okay, why is this having a squiggly line? Forget. So do not do what I just did. So before editing your code right here, you have to stop your program. Okay, stop, and then that's the time that you can make some changes on your code. Then after that, save, Control S, and then click start. Okay. Okay. So in here, 5 and let's say 5 is they are equal, and 5 and 15, of course, they are not equal. Okay. That's how you put condition for the oops, uh, hardest one. Okay, it's like having two condition, but initially one condition only, and then the rest will fall on this false statement. All right, so did you guys get the idea so far on how to use if and then else statement? Okay, very good. So it's a good thing that most of you, I mean, maybe not most, at least half of you guys is getting the idea. All right, so let's now move on to the next one. We still have time, so we still have 5 minutes left. So sample problem number 3. Okay, this instruction right here, the same with sample problem number 4, will actually serve as your third quiz and fourth quiz. Okay, so those two are 50 points, 50 points, 50 points, a total of 100 for those two quizzes. So in here, it's quite simple actually. The ABC Manufacturing Company plans to give a year-end bonus to each of its employees. Write a program that will compute the bonus of an employee by considering the following criteria. So we have two criteria on how you will create the program. So if the employee's monthly salary is less than 10,000 pesos, the bonus is 25% of the salary. So if his salary is, let's use a calculator. Let's say his salary is 9,500. So you must compute the 25% of it. So times 0.25, and then that employee's bonus is 2,375. Okay, so this is now one output that it is being asked. Okay, and then the another condition right here is for employees with salaries greater than or equal to 10,000, the bonus is a fixed 2,500 pesos. So even though you have a salary of 20,000, you will still receive a bonus of 2,500. So if it's 1 million, still it's still 2,500 pesos. But if it's less than 10,000, and that's the time that you should perform a computation. So just get 25% of it, and then will be added as the final salary of that employee. Okay, so determine and display the bonus of an employee. So I have here a sample layout of your quiz number 3. So we have one input and then two outputs. Okay, so for the input, so of course you're going to put your numbers, and then whatever is the computation. So the of course there will be a comparison that will be made greater than or less than, and then the salary employees bonus salary will be displayed in here, and then in here the total computed salary. So where is this total computed salary will be coming from? It is the employee salary plus the computed bonus salary. So in here, if we have 95 plus 2375, and that's the one that that's the one that will be the one who's going to display here. Okay, so did you guys get the idea of your quiz number 3? Okay, that's a good thing. Okay, so take note, one input, two outputs. All right, and for this one, sample problem number 4, one input, one output only. Okay, so this is super simple. This is a lot more easier than sample problem number 3. So write a program that will allow user to input an integer. Okay, determine and display if the integer entered is an even number. So take note, even though, okay, I will now mention the things that you guys need to know. So even though it is working completely, but it can display decimal, okay, because supposedly it will only display and accept integer, whole number only. So you will get a 0 score, okay, for not following the instruction. So take note, it should only accept whole number because it's being mentioned here that it will only accept integer, and then at the same time it will display an integer also. Okay, which is of course my bad. Okay, so in on the display, so there's only two possibilities. So this is not a number, okay, it's just a text, okay, inside the message box. So if it's even, okay, then it will display even number, but if it's odd, then it will do nothing. Okay, what important is this will only accept a whole number, and then for the display, so even number or the will do nothing. Okay, as simple as that for the sample problem number 4. Are we clear so far for your third and fourth quiz? So just give me a thumbs up if everything is clear. Okay, so 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm not sure anymore if the other who were not responding is really in front of their computer or no. Okay, if they have really understood what I'm trying to say right here. So it's up to them now. Okay. Anyway, so we don't have enough time anymore. So we'll just continue the rest on the part 2. Okay. So goodbye for now and see you guys on part 2.